morning. Good morning. Welcome back to another pre-market live stream. My name is Franco and this is Trading Futures Live. In this pre-market analysis video, I will go over all the assets that I check before the market opens so I get ready for my trading session today. Okay, let's jump right into this. Good morning, Stack and B. Thank you for being here, guys. All right, let's go to the pre-market screen. And this is the news events for today. 30-year mortgage rate. Oh my God, this is levels from, I think it's 2007 or 8. Okay, we're hitting new levels here. Mortgage applications are dropping. They have been dropping consistently throughout this year. All these real estate numbers came out in the morning. They come every week though. This is normal stuff. Retail inventories. But the big news today is new home sales. 10 in the morning. So we need to put an alert for that one. And then for those who trade crude oil, I don't trade it particularly. I used to, but not anymore. But crude oil inventory is at 10:30. After that, all, crude oil related news here. We don't have much. We don't have much here. Oh, the 3-month bill auction. This is gonna get attention tonight. I think the 3-month and the 10 years are inverted right now. I'm gonna check that. We can check that out later in this session. All right, let's jump right into the dollar, because you guys know I like to look at the dollar for my trading, to enhance my trading. And this is a 3 hours. If you go to the daily chart, still in a bullish environment. But we're retracing. Remember, we're in levels from 2000 to 2002 supply, and like I've said for a few days now, we might arrange in the dollar for the next few months, right? Still, the dollar is in a bullish trend, bullish environment. And we're hitting some demands here on the daily, this rally base in a rally. And then we came here to retest not a long time ago by the beginning of the month. Let's take a look at the monthly chart though. All right, so yeah, we're giving up some of the gains on the dollar, 1.5%. But if you figure, look how much we have gone up the entire year. This is probably... As of now is 15.5, and to the highs of the year is 20%. That's not typical for the dollar. When that happens is because some underlying issue is happening in the economy, right? The dollar is pricing in some events. This is the weekly, just to have a glance of it. All right, let's go to the 3 hours, because this is the chart that I want to look at today. On the 3 hours, we do have this consolidation period for like 4 or 5 days, 1 week. A little bit more than 1 week of trading days here. We came on the beginning of the month, and now we just touched this last night, okay? So I'm going to pay attention to this level, right? I am expecting the dollar to continue to go up today. So that will mean if it's aligned with the bond yields, and we're going to review them later, that will mean some more downside on the equity markets. All right, so this is a one chance that we can have today. Sorry, this is one possibility that we can have today. Let's go to the 30-minute, okay? So on the 30-minute, I don't have, sorry. On the 30-minute, I don't have much here. All these drop can be reversed up to this level. So one thing that I'm looking at is the dollar coming up to this, and then some rejection to the downside, right? So if this scenario plays out today, the equity market can recover after hitting some demand that we're gonna look at them, some demands that we have in the ES on the Nasdaq. If this scenario plays out, we can have a reversal on the equity markets. Another scenario that I can find today is this one. All right, so we come here, we chop a little bit, we come to the demand, and then ultimately we go up. Okay, this is the second scenario. If this one plays out, so definitely the equity markets will go lower, right? If we hold this demand, I mean. Another scenario, but not very likely due to the nature of this area, is this one, that we come down, we revisit, and then we break to the downside. I don't think this one's very likely, just because I do have a lot of demand right here. We do have London open and US open right here. This is a 3 in the morning. Let me put a line right here. So we haven't even touched the London open right here. Okay, so if we happen to come down, we might bounce still from the blue line. This is the London open from that day. Also, we do have the US FX market open right here, 8 to 8:30. So all this area is a very good area. Consolidation, you have this pivot here and this pivots here, giving you some support. Okay, so I do expect the dollar to continue to the upside today. So that's my bias on the dollar, right? If you go to the bond yields, there's another story on the bond yields, right? So we had this demand right here, 415 to 4.1, and we violated yesterday, right at the open, right before the open, and then we chopped around the entire day. So that tells me that this area is now turned into a supply zone. If we come here, I will look to I will expect this to just bounce to the downside like this. Okay, probably chopping around and continuation to the downside. If we have another scenario like we have this one, right, and we go up aligned with the dollar, this will mean more downside on the equity markets. But I don't see this one. I don't see these charges going back up, especially if we break this one. We do have this entire area, which is pretty good area right here of supply. Okay, and then we have this gap right here. So a lot of supply on the bond yields, demand in the bonds right now. Regarding the demand side, I would see this one. So if we happen to drop a little bit more, next stop for me can be around this area. Okay, this is the open from a few days ago, then another retest during London, and then the FX open right here. Okay, so I think the bond yields have a bit of room to go down right now. Okay, now the one thing that makes me doubt the direction, and I'm 100% neutral bias on this chart, is that we do have these pivot, right? This is an important pivot. We were hitting like new highs here and a rejection from there. So this is a pivot that probably will put some pressure to the upside, and not so much this one, but still there, right? But this one is the one that I see a more like sharp move up and down. Okay, So let me get rid of this one so I don't get distracted. Okay. Some consolidation right here from October 10th to the 19th. A week, more or less, of trading. All right, so neutral on the bond yields. I think they are more likely to drop than to go up, but it's yet to see what it's going to do. Remember, if I have the dollar and this chart in the same direction, that will mean the opposite direction on the NQ, not so much on the ES. And that's another thing that I wanted to ask you guys. I'm thinking probably start testing the ES on Sim, so we can trade the ES and the NQ, but I will need some time to adapt to the ES. It's gonna take some time for me to learn how the ES trades. It's a long time that I don't trade it. Just because a lot of you guys are trading the ES, I think is a more popular futures market. And I understand that the NQ can be a bit wild sometime. All right, so regarding the VIX. Now, remember, this chart of the VIX, I think the NQ has its own VIX, right? This chart of the VIX is tied up to the S&P, right? That's why you see the market is dropping 1%. Or more or less, the ES today is dropping 0.7%, but the VIX is flat, so there's no reaction, right, whatsoever to the drop on the equity market. So let's review let's see if we have the VIX for the NQ. VIXQ. Volatility NQ. There we go. Oh, who understands this chart? I don't understand it. Well, let's stick to the VIX. I'm gonna figure. I think NQ. I'm pretty sure the NQ has the volatility index. Yeah. But this is not bad. I think the ES is a very good as like futures to trade. It's a clean chart and the movements are not so wild like in the NQ. Now I feel fine trading the NQ. But I understand a lot of you guys, the majority of you actually trade the ES. So, and one thing that I've been thinking about is that if I want to grow, like really grow as a trader, I cannot go with the NQ, and I'm talking about probably 5 years from now. The NQ does not. It's hard for me to scale up on the NQ. Let's say 50 contracts, 100 contracts. Whereas in the ES is more doable, right? The swings are less aggressive. The liquidity is way higher. So I think it's a good thing just to start learning that thing, because sooner or later I will have to migrate to that, to the ES, okay? If I really want to scale up. All right, so this is crude oil. By the way, remind me, one of you guys, stack of you, can you remind me to look up the volatility index for the NQ later? I want to check that during the session. All right, crude oil is bouncing off of this 83 level. There's some supply here. I don't have anything high quality. The one that I had is already been violated. So my next supply is this one, but it is even not a high quality because it came back here went inside more than 50%, so I don't think there are many orders left here. So I think crude oil, if it doesn't bounce, if it doesn't go down from any of these levels, like between 88 to 90, I think we will have higher numbers around 100. So that's a possibility, right? I don't have nothing here. Let me see if I have on the 4 hours. Now all this is overnight. And this one is tested. 6 in the morning. 10 in the morning. No, everything is tested. Like the movement happened here overnight. It can be reversed in no time. I mean, no time. It will take some time, but what I mean is that it's not as strong as if it was created at 9 in the morning, right? If you go to the 3 hours, yeah, this one here is putting some selling pressure, all this entire candle. So, but it's due to the location. It's just in the middle of everything, right? It's in the middle. So location is pretty bad in this area. All right, there you go. Do you have something here? This is 9:30. All right. For those who trade crude oil. All right, for those who trade crude oil, you have some supply right here, 86.68 to 88.16. I'll put here very, very low prob supply. Not a good location. Okay, and I will leave it there. There's some supply here, but the location, I don't like it. It's just in the middle of the chart. All right, so let's continue on. Let's put back the daily chart. Gold, neutral bullish. Remember that the dollar is dropping. What was dropping during the Asia session, and these metals were going up. Now, what is very bullish is copper. That is not good for inflation. All right, so metals are neutral. So this chart tells me a possible, like, now the dollar is a larger market than gold and silver. Now gold is a vast, is humongous market, and it has some supply here, right? So this is inversely correlated to the dollar, right? So I want to pay attention to this supply, 1672 to 91. That can tell, this can tell me that the dollar might have a continuation to the upside today, right? Especially because we are reacting off of it. All right, let's go to the ES. It came to the supply that we had yesterday. We managed to close here, and with the earnings reports, we're gapping down. Now, I do have this pivot, very important pivot, right? Because this is ultimately a pivot that was giving us the last push down. We created a new low, and then buyers just rejected this level to the upside, right? So this pivot, I'm going to pay attention to this pivot today. I'm not neutral. I am neutral, bearish on the equity markets, but with cautious, because I've seen the dollar, right? The dollar might have some room to go up, but probably the equity markets won't move, right? I do have this pivot. This pivot is going to put a lot of pressure to the upside. If you go to the 30-minute, the location is not perfect, right? Remember, the overall direction for the year is down. So if I want to long the equity markets, I rather just having some space to the upside, okay? And we do have some supply right here, like 38.55, 39.04. We do have supply zones here. So what do I mean with that? We don't have a lot of profit margin. Not profit margin in a sense that of my trading, because I could have a day trade here for a very quick 2, 3 to 1, right? Depending on my let's say I'm buying here, right? This can mean for me the 3 or 4 to 1, right? Because I'm risking very little. I'm saying that this pivot probably will not push these prices higher because of the location, okay? Probably it needs some room. So what do I mean by that? That sellers run out of gas, right? How sellers run out of gas? Like when the prices are here, sellers are exhausted. And then buyers come in and then they can push prices to the upside, okay? I don't want to short, I don't want to long so close to supply. That's what I mean. Remember, this is 30 minutes. It's a lot larger time frame of what I do every day. I do trade volume bar. That's even, you can compare it to probably 1 minute or less. So so my interpretation of this chart is, yes, this pivot is right here. This pivot is right here, but I want to approach it with cautious, okay? And the demand that I have there is 38.08, 38.08. The supply is still valid though. It's a different story for the NQ because this is actually the opening from yesterday, and you're gonna see the NQ. The NQ is a lot weaker. This is the opening from yesterday. So my demand on the NQ is a lot lower. If you compare the chart, they're similar, right? But the NQ already blew yesterday's open, and it makes sense. Google had a very, very bad earnings. Microsoft, I haven't checked Microsoft, but I think they're gapping down also. So I do expect this demand from yesterday to turn into a supply zone. Right now is putting some pressure to the downside. Either way, I wouldn't short within this if I don't have any sort of new area created. Why? Because prices went completely inside the area. Like another story would have been if, okay, like here, okay, we just tapped into the area and we dropped, right? And we continued dropping, we never came back. But that's not the case. We went inside the area. Now I just want to wait for some area to be created around this zone, okay? Now this drop is just the earnings. This can be reversed in no time, although I do have this buying area, okay? Again, these pivots are very important because these pivots were created yesterday, and then on this drop, we basically blew all those pivots. Okay, so I'm gonna put a circle right here. I want to pay attention to this thing. Oh, I need to move on. It's 9:15. This is my preferred area, like 600. If I do have some areas created right here and the dollar in demand, then I'll try the short. Okay. Within here, again, location is not the best one. The best one is this one. But if something is created right here and the dollar is in demand, I will try the short as well. Now for the long, there's nothing here that I can really trust, but this one 340. Okay, I think 340. Now this area is humongous. I will have to dissect this on the volume chart if I want to trade this area between 340 and 208. Is 130 points is is too big. So I will need to go to Ninja and see what happened there on the on the volume bar. All right. Real quick, Meta is trapped. These are levels from 2017, and we came here on the mid of October, and we're bouncing back up. Now we're gapping down due to the Google earnings, right? Is dragging down this Meta, but look, it has some demand right here. Like, it's not the best one, but it has some demand. It gapped up. This is a pretty nice setup right here. If we happen to visit this 131.22, I think it can gap up from here. Okay, supply is far, so I think it has some room to continue to go up. Now this area, it's a high quality supply, so I wouldn't stick to this Meta for the long term, because it has a lot of supply. Like, this is the first one that I found. I think it has some room to go up though. I wanted to do the straddle, but I don't have time. Google yesterday closed within our supply and is gapping down. Now it's coming to the demand 96.44. I think this demand right here is not it's not too far. I think we can have it. If we have some bullishness on the NQ, probably Google might bounce. We need the overall market to give the push to for Google to continue to go up. Okay. Now we closed inside the supply and we gapped down. Now this is a lottery ticket. So yes, we did have the supply, but this trade is almost impossible. For me, it's not something that I even pay attention to. Yes, we did have the supply, but it's unrealistic for me to take this trade. It's just the earnings reports are a lottery ticket. Yes, we had it here, and it's dropping from the supply. That's the conspiracy theory that I always believe in. Like, they drive prices conveniently to some direction. So I wanted to check Microsoft. Okay. Microsoft, we didn't get to the demand, to the supply, sorry. We closed up below the supply. So that this tells me that we didn't manage to, well, we got to see the after hours. Probably the after hours was hit here. But we are opening close to the demand. Again, if the overall market shows some strength and the dollar drops, this demand can drop, right? Itself is going to be hard because of this gap to the downside. We need the overall market to give the push to these two companies, okay? All right, with that, I'm going to close this live stream. Thank you for being here. I see you guys in 10 minutes for the live trading session, okay? Thank you, guys. Bye.